Today we're exploring a fascinating aspect of color perception, the enigmatic color magenta. Unlike other colors, magenta doesn't have its own wavelength of light. So how do we see it, and why does it appear the way it does to us? Let's uncover the mystery of magenta. To understand magenta, we first need to dive into how light and color work. Light is made up of electromagnetic waves, and each color we see corresponds to a different wavelength. For example, red has a long wavelength, while violet has a short one. But there's no wavelength for magenta. How is this possible? Our perception of color is a complex process. Our eyes have 3 types of color receptors, or cones, each sensitive to different wavelengths, red, green, and blue. But none of these cones are directly sensitive to magenta. So, how do we perceive this color? This is where our brain comes into play. When we see light that combines red and blue wavelengths, the ends of the visible spectrum, our brain creates the color magenta. It's a color that exists only in our minds, a way to bridge the gap between red and violet, which don't meet in the light spectrum. This leads to an intriguing question. Does magenta look the same to everyone? Since it's a color entirely created by our brain's interpretation, it's possible that each person's perception of magenta could be slightly different. However, it's difficult to confirm this, as we can't accurately describe how we see a color to another person. In color theory, magenta plays a unique role. It's often used as a primary color in printing and art, showing its importance in our visual and artistic world. Despite being an invented color by our brain, magenta's influence is undeniable. Magenta's existence is a perfect example of the complexities of color perception and the incredible abilities of our brain. It reminds us that much of our experience of the world is shaped not just by the physical reality, but also by how our brain perceives it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really does help us keep bringing you these strange and unusual oddities.